All right. Inshallah, for our session this morning, I'm going to look at Chapter 6 Investment Basic and Strategies in Retirement Planning. Okay. So, this is quite a important topics for you to know because in this topic, you will need to learn about what kind of investment that should be suitable for the retirement planning. And it is very important for you to know that certain types of investment not suitable for retirement because retirement planning is you need a secured investment for retirement. Okay, you need a secured investment for retirement because retirement itself is a guarantee. What if you invest your money in a high risk investment? Okay, in a highly risk investment, then you have a risk to loss of all of your money in the retirement fund. So that's why once we talk about retirement planning, you have to understand that there are certain things or certain types of instruments that is suitable for you to pursue, but highly risk investment should be avoided or should be minimized, right? So that's basically the point because we don't want client to lose all of their saving because of the investment that they put in possibly is too risky for them. Okay, let me share the slide with you today. So for today, inshallah, we will learn about chapter 6 only, and I'm not going to explain about project paper in this session. All right. Right before Raya, we had a lecture on personal financial ratio. I hope that you already work on that. Inshallah, another 1 week, we will continue our session with the insurance planning. Okay, with the insurance planning. So make sure that you make a progress on your project paper. Okay, so I hope that all of you can see the slide that appear on the screen at this point of time. Okay, so let's have a look at the objective of the study. We are going to look at major characteristic of investment assets, life cycle investing, asset allocation strategies in retirement planning, concept, benefit, and limitations of constant dollar cost averaging, application and benefits of constant dollar plan in lump sum investment, right? And some of the mechanism that we can use for you to choose which kind of investment is better. Okay, in the case of you have two types of unit trust, which one is better than the another, what kind of analysis that you can do to identify which one perform better. So this is what we are going to do in this topic basically. All right, so as an introduction, all right, the personal investment or personal financial planning is a combination of science and art in the sense that you have several important components in the personal financial planning. Okay, you have asset and you have liability, right? So the assets that you have, for example, you have house, you have cash, okay, you have cars or another types of asset that you might have. All of these need to be managed in a proper way. And the liabilities that you have, okay, because you want to buy an asset such as house, for example, that you have to buy this on loan. So it means that you have liabilities for the housing loan. You want to buy a car, so you do that on loan. So you also have a loan for the car. And sometimes people, they have another types of loan. For example, like that another type of loan possibly not very helpful or not very useful, not very important, such as credit card loan, okay, or the loan for the furniture or the personal loan. So all of this type of loan, they are basically low quality of liabilities because it is not increasing your net worth. You know that once you involve or get involved with all this type of loan, your net worth will be badly affected, since all of these loan are not attached to a specific asset. Okay, unlike the housing loan, for example, yes, you have a loan, and at the same time you have an asset that is in the form of a home, a house, that the value of the house will keep increasing. So that is a quality types of liabilities. Certain liabilities, such as liabilities towards the car, you buy a very expensive car, for example. Yes, you have liabilities, but the value of the car will be decreasing. So that's why you need to have an art when you want to deal with this type of liabilities, whether it is important or not, what will be the value of the investment, what about the liabilities itself, is that too high or too low, or what actually you want to achieve. So it is an art for you to think about your decision. So the personal or individual asset can be classified into three main areas, okay, three types of asset. The first one is cash or cash equivalent. All right, cash or cash equivalent. This includes the cash saving, fixed deposit. All right, so all of these are our current account. All of this can be considered as a part of cash and cash equivalents. Investment assets are all types of asset for the purpose of the investment. Okay. You possibly have an investment in the unit trust, in the bond, in shares. All right. So all of these are part of the investment asset. If, for example, the client or you have a property, you invest in a property for the purpose of the investment where you didn't live in the property. You bought a property, you bought a terrace house, for example, and you didn't stay inside the house, but you rent it out. Yeah, awak sewakan. So the purpose is not a personal use. It means that it is for the purpose of investment asset. If, for example, okay, the purpose of the asset for the retirement, okay, for example, for the purpose of retirement, you are going to use it, you want to sell it one day for the purpose of retirement. So that is also can be categorized as an investment asset. But when we talk about personal use asset, it means that we don't have intention to sell it. Okay, so again, let's say you have a property, you have a terrace house, for example, a house. This is basically an asset, but it can be categorized under investment asset if the purpose of the house is for you to sell one day and use the money for the purpose of retirement. So it become an investment asset. But this house will be categorized under personal use asset if you don't have intention to sell it and you want to stay inside the house. So that is personal use asset. Okay, certain people, all right, when we talk about personal use asset, certain people, they think that, oh, it is good for me to buy a very expensive house. Okay, so let's say someone bought a house which has a value of 500,000. But once you stay in the house, the return from the house is actually zero, because you take all of the consumption of the house and you are not generating any income from the house. Okay, I repeat again. So let's say you bought a house with a value of 500,000, but at the same time you stay in the house, means that you take the total consumption of the house. Actually, you are not making profit out of the house, although the value keep increasing because you are the one who consume it. You stay there in that particular house. So the return from the investment, return, because you still not sell it, actually the return is actually zero. Okay, unless if you use the house for you to rent out, you rent it out, or you make income generating activities in the house, so it is different stories. But as long as it is a personal consumption house, regardless of how expensive the car or the house that you have, because you stay there, the return from the investment is basically zero. Okay, so you need to have an art to handle all of these things: personal use asset, investment asset, and cash equivalents. Because if you too much money in the personal use asset, for example, you buy a very expensive house, all of your money invested here, and you stay in the house, all right, and you're not benefited or generating any income. Yes, the value of the house keep increasing, but only it will be, you can see the return unless if you sell it. But if you didn't sell it until you pass away, sampai mati you tak jual rumah tu, means that you didn't get the return from the house that you bought. But your family one day, katalah kita dah mati, and then your family take over the house and they sell it, and obviously all of the return will be back to those who own it during that time. Okay, if during that time you already pass away, so someone else will get the benefit out of that. Okay, so that is also a part of the legacy. But when we talk about whether it is a profitable investment or not a profitable investment, you need to have an art to think about that very, very carefully. Okay, very, very carefully. All right, so what is actually the purpose of the investment? What is actually the purpose of the investment? Why people wants to make an investment? Why? Because they want to build wealth. They want to accumulate wealth. So that is basically the purpose of the investment. So that's why they keep the money. They keep the money and they can get a return out of the investment, and it will increase their wealth. And it also will provide a security for the client. Okay, so if you have an asset, it provides a security for you. You have money, you have saving for you to continue with your life. What if something happen? Okay, emergency might happen. Your cars might be possibly broken down, or possibly the house has been damaged due to natural disaster, for example. We heard about the flood that happened in apa tu, Janda Baik recently. So what if you don't have a saving? If something bad happened to you, surely it will be some sort of a security for you if you have a cash saving. So if something happened, you don't need to ask for help from the others, because you can stand by your own. Beside that, some people, they have an investment, okay, for the purpose of leaving behind a legacy. It means that you make an investment because you want to make sure that that particular asset will be passed to your children, or for example for other purposes. Let's say you have planned, you want to make an investment, or you want to give a donation to the Foundation of Cancer Malaysia, for example. You want to give a donation, bagi derma kepada certain bodies or NGO in Malaysia. So some people, they have that kind of of purpose as well, why they want to make an investment out of the money that they have. Okay, let's have a look at what kind of asset that's suitable for the purpose of retirement. So once we talk about retirement, here are basically the asset that can be used for the purpose of retirement. Life insurance scheme. Life insurance scheme, this can be also used for the purpose of retirement, although it is not that, the amount is not very high. Okay, life insurance amount is not very high unless it is something tailored for retirement. Okay, because life insurance, it is where you can get the money once you pass away. Okay, kalau awak mati baru dapat duit, means that awak dah mati dah. The money will be benefited by those who are still alive. Okay, if for example you are still alive at the end of the term, you will get some sort of cash value. Awak akan dapat the cash value. So the cash value is also not that high, but ada some amount that can be used for that purpose. Other than that, if you, for example, have a unit trust, if you have stock and shares, if you have real estate, insurance life policies, for example, like what I already discussed with you just now, then it also can be used for the purpose of retirement. Okay, so actually there are another types of asset that also can be used for retirement. Some people they love to buy jewelry, some people have a collection of watch, yeah, ada koleksi jam ke, handbag ke, that also can be sell one day, if for example you need some saving. But um, it is quite difficult to sell, okay, unless if it is something very very antique, macam if for example you have a watch, mungkin you bought a watch at the cost of 1,000, but if you want to resell this again, surely it is hard for you to get 1,000, right? So the value should be decreasing. So that's why people say that cash is king. Okay, cash is king, because if you change or you exchange the cash with the handbag, for example, obviously the value will be decreased if you want to sell this one day. Okay, so that's why cash is king. The finance people say that. Okay, beside of understanding what kind of asset that we possibly use for the purpose of retirement, we also need to study or to understand about the rate of return, the capital preservation. Okay, required rate of return means that what kind of return that you will get out of the investment. Capital preservation depends whether you want to use capital liquidation or capital conservation approach. What are the effect of tax or zakat? Okay, because if for example you have a lot of saving, then it is also subject to zakat, and also the type of risk from the investment. All right. Normally, once we talk about retirement planning, okay, the types of the financial instrument that normally use, including the unit trust. It's including the unit trust. It's one of the popular types of instrument for the purpose of retirement. So once you want to choose whether you want to select unit trust A or unit trust B, what kind of criteria that you should look at? So basically, number one, you have to look at the performance. Okay, you have to look at the performance of the unit trust. This is very very important because if the performance is high, surely this should be a favorable reason for you to choose to invest in this particular unit trust investment. Beside of the performance, you also have to look at the history. Tengok dia punya sejarah dia, the track. Okay, the track history. Historical performance. Is that consistent? Is that fluctuate? Alright, so that is also a part of the consideration. Other than that, you also have to look at the market, the economy. If, for example, in the good economy, obviously the price of the performance of the unit trust will be increased. But in a bad economy, in a bear market, you can see that the price normally will be low, and it means that unit trust not making profits and it suffer losses. So there are many factors that will actually influence the performance of the unit trust itself. Okay, so because of the economy is fluctuating. I can see in the past we heard about the economic turmoil when I was at the university, when I was in school, and now we heard about that again because of the COVID. So economy is fluctuating. In certain times, it can be considered as a good economic situation, but in certain times we suffer with the bad economic situation where we can hear a lots of unemployment here and there. Okay, and nowadays we heard about the issues of the inflation. The cost of the groceries are now very very high. So because of the economy is not consistent, it is hard for us to target a specific timing for our investment. It means that you don't need to wait. You don't need to wait until the economy is good. Only then we make an investment. Okay. So what the suggestion from the expert in economy is where once you want to make an investment, this is the approach, the good approach that you can use, what we call as the constant dollar cost averaging concept, which means if you look at this method, you don't need to wait until the economy is totally good or totally bad. Only then you make a decision to make an investment. So this is a quite reasonable, rational types of investment, because once we talk about constant dollar cost averaging concept, it means that you make an investment consistently, regardless of the economic situation. Okay, so for example, let's say this month, this month you make an investment of 1,000 from your salary. You keep it in the saving. Next month, you continue 1,000. Okay, next another month, then you pursue and you do it consistently. Okay, the whole year, for the whole year, and you continue for the next year. So regardless whatever happens to the economy, you keep doing that. And if you do that, regardless of the economy, whether it is good or not that good, whether the economy is increasing or decreasing, you are still get a benefit out of your investment during that particular time frame or tenure. Okay, so you keep making investment in the um, any types of investment suitable, tak kisahlah whether you keep in the unit trust or you keep it in the fixed deposit, but you keep doing that consistently. This is where you can actually gain the benefit during the good time of economy, and at the same time you also can get the benefit during the bad time of the economy. So the what we need here is actually the discipline. Okay, you need to have a good discipline in order for you to make that kind of strategy. So once you get the salary, okay, you already calculate how much should be your expenses. You take out the money from the salary for the expenses, for you to cover for the expenses, and you take some portion from that money for the purpose of saving. You do it on the first instance you get the salary. You don't need to wait until the end of the month. Jangan tunggu okay, the gaji dah dapat, dah bayar hutang apa semua, simpan dulu. Okay, simpan dulu, tak nak guna for saving. That should be problematic, because why? Once you reach the end of the month, okay, you possibly use the money that you're supposed to use for saving, and at the same time you don't have saving at all. Dah belanja dah. There are so many things that will make people tend to sleep during this time. We have Shopee, banyak benda yang boleh menyebabkan orang berbelanja dengan mudah nowadays. Okay, nowadays, just you're not going anywhere, you are just in your room, for example, you still can make a lot of purchases. So that is the, I don't know, this is what we call as sebahagian tanda-tanda hari kiamat juga lah. Okay, in the past people say that sebahagian tanda hari kiamat ni adalah apa? Pasar-pasar ni, the market will getting closer. Okay, pasar-pasar ni akan jadi dekat. Jadi in the past, once we heard about that, pasar-pasar akan jadi dekat, maksudnya apa? Maksudnya rumah saya akan jadi dekat dengan pasar lah. Okay, rumah saya akan jadi dekat dengan pasar ke, kat mana kita pergi akan jadi dekat dengan pasar ke. Tapi sekarang kita tak pelik lagi. Memang betul pasar itu telah didekatkan. Memang sangat dekat dengan kita. Kan? Sangat senang nak pilih, sangat senang nak bayar. Pasar-pasar dah menjadi dekat. So that's the reason why people lost their saving easily, because of all of this online shopping. Okay, let's have a look at this constant dollar cost averaging concept, the example in the case of erratic or unpredictable market. So let's say you make a regular saving 600, okay, for the first month, bulan pertama 600. the total is 3,000. And let us assume that the unit price is fluctuating. In certain month, it is 30 unit price of the price of the unit trust. Okay, in the first month it is 30, now become 20, become 30 again, 20, 30 is fluctuating. The price is not consistent. So it means that once the price is 30, you can buy low units because the price is quite high. So the unit acquired is 20. Second month is 30 and continue. All right. So here the total unit price is 130 and the unit you acquired is 120. So just by having 600 amount of saving, at the time the unit price is 30, you can buy 20 units. And if you look at the average unit price, 130 divide with 5 investment period, you can get the average rate per unit is 26 ringgit. And the average unit cost, okay, the cost 3,000 divided with 120, we can get the average unit cost is 25. Okay, so this is the example of the bad economy, unpredictable economy. Okay, certain times it is good, certain times it is bad. Let's have a look at the falling market. In the times of falling market, so the price is keep decreasing from 30 to 20, 12, 10. Okay, so during bad economy, once you make a constant investment of 600, all right, with a total of 3,000, now you can see the unit you acquired should be higher, 190. So during bad economy, it doesn't mean that it's totally bad. It means that, yes, bad economy means that the price is decreasing, but what are the good things here is where you can buy higher number of units. And that is actually the essence of the investment. You buy when the price is low and you make profit when the price increase, when the price high. Okay, so during raising market, you can see here, all right, yes, market is increasing, price is increasing from 12 to 20, 24, 30, 40, now become 126. And you can see the unit acquired is only 140, which is lower. Because why? Because the price is increasing, the price is expensive. So that's why you can see in the falling market, yeah, in the bad economy, you can buy higher number of unit. Lagi banyak unit kamu boleh beli. Okay, but in the raising market, number of unit is basically low. So there are several important lessons from here. Okay, it means that during falling market, keep making investment, keep doing an investment, because during this time you actually buy the units in a low price, and during raising market, when the price increasing to 40, you can sell them. You can sell them and you can make profit out of that. All right, so this is the lesson from the constant dollar cost averaging. Keep continue making an investment regardless of the economic situation, whether the economy is good or bad, you still can benefit from those situation or the market situation. Okay, so let's have a look at the impact of dollar cost averaging on investment return. All right. Okay, so let's say, okay, in this instance, we have net asset value for fund A. Okay, so as in this example, we have fund A and fund B. Kita ada dua fund. We have two dana. We have two unit trusts that we can choose, A and B. So in the case of A, the beginning net asset value is 1 ringgit. Asset value 1 ringgit. Harga dia awalnya adalah beginning RM1. End of the first year, it become RM1.50. Means that there is a 50% increase. Ada kenaikan sebanyak 50% and it is positive because it is increasing. For the second year, the beginning net asset value is similar to ending net asset value. So, okay, so if you look at this, RM1.50 now become RM1 at the end of the second year. It means that it is decreasing. So from RM1.50 decreasing to RM1 means that there is a negative reduction of 33.33%. So same goes to the third year, it now become RM1 and increase again at the end of the third year, and the fourth year, at the end of the fourth year, we can see that it is decreasing again to RM1. So as in this instance, we can see the change is like 50% positive, negative 33.33, 50 point positive, okay, 50% positive, negative 33.33, and the total changes, okay, total change out of these 4 years is 33.33%. Okay, so that is the situation for Fund A. Let's have a look at the situation for Fund B. Okay, RM1 reduced to 50 cents means that there is a reduction of 50%. 50% become RM1 for the second year. Therefore, it is an increase of 100%. Okay, so if we track back for the percent of change in the Fund B, we can see that the percent of change is 100% of change for the Fund B. Okay, for the Fund B. So if we look at both, okay, if we look at both Fund A or Fund B, which one we should choose? Actually, Fund A or Fund B? If you look at the return that you see percent of change for Fund A and Fund B, which one do you think that you want to invest? Nurfaliana? Which one you think should be better, A or B? Okay, which one you should choose? Why A? Ah, okay. All right. It is increased beyond the beginning value. So let's say if we look at Fund A, yes, this is a good point. This is one way on how you make an analysis. One side, you're seeing that Fund A is better because the beginning value is RM1. Now it improved to RM1 50 cent. Okay, so in your view, okay, Zuaziman, you think that ni lagi menguntungkan, okay, sebab apa? Sebab it increased beyond the baseline. So the baseline is RM1. Sekarang dia memang ada turun naik, but at least it go beyond. Unlike the Fund B, if you look at Fund B, it is RM1, but the value keep decreasing. RM1 to 50 cent, and then turn out again to RM1, become 50 cent again. So basically, this is a very difficult situation for us to make a decision which one is better, because if you look at both situations, Fund A seems not profitable because the beginning is RM1 and the ending of the fourth year sama juga RM1, similar. As if that this fund not making any progress. And same goes to Fund B. First is also RM1, beginning net asset value for the first year, and the ending net asset value is also RM1. So by looking at this situation, we can see that both funds, as if that they are not really making any profit because there is no changes. Okay, and as what Zu Azima just said, at least we can see that the fund A is increasing in terms of value. From 1 ringgit, now it shows a little bit performance to 1 ringgit 50, unlike the fund B, which is consistently drop, okay, 50, and it never surpassed the baseline that is 1 ringgit that they initially invested. So let's have a look. Okay, let's have a look how we can actually choose between fund A or fund B. Okay, we can use what we call as arithmetic rate of return. Arithmetic rate of return. So in the arithmetic rate of return, okay, the formula is where, all right, you divide the percent of change to number of years. Percent of change divide with the number of years. So as in fund A, you can see here 33.33, we divide with 4. Okay, and we can get for the fund A, the percentage for arithmetic rate of return is 8.33%. Okay, so that is for fund A using arithmetic rate of return. Secondly, we can calculate the arithmetic rate of return for fund B, 100%, divide with 4, we can get 25%. So it means that if we compare between fund A and fund B using arithmetic rate of return, we can see fund A, it gained 8.33%, but fund B actually gained 25%, much higher than fund A. So if we use arithmetic rate of return method, where you divide the percent of change with the number of years, obviously fund B should be better, should be choose rather than fund A, because fund B has a higher rate of return of arithmetic. Okay, so let's have a look at another types of analysis. Okay, another types of analysis that we can use for us to analyze which one is actually better than another. Okay, so this is the example. Okay, this is where we assume that an investor has a 40,000. Okay, has a 40,000. And this 40,000 will be invested bit by bit, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000 per year for 4 years. That is the second situation. In the first situation, this 40,000 will be used to invest one lump sum. Okay, one lump sum. So let's have a look at this example. Okay, all right. So this is this is the second situation where they make an investment of 10,000 per year for 4 years. The first situation is where these people, they invest 40,000, one lump sum. All right, so take the first case. Let's say the amount invested 40,000, one lump sum at the price of 1 ringgit. It means that the unit acquired is 40,000. All right, so that's the first case. Okay, and it is important for you to know that in investment, sometimes there will be initial charges. Okay, initial charge on the investment. So let's say we take an example that the initial charge is 5%. Is 5%, which is equivalent to 2,000. Which is equivalent to 2,000. So after 4 years, this investment, all right, automatically will reduce by 2,000 because of the initial change, because of the initial charge. Okay, because of the initial charge. All right, so let's have a look at the second situation. Okay, where in this situation, the amount invested is 10,000 gradually, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000 gradually. And as in this case, we are taking the case of Fund A. Fund A yang tadi tu start with RM1, now increasing to RM1.50. So this is the story with the Fund A. If we use constant dollar cost averaging, every year we make an investment of 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. And we assume at the same time, there's also an initial charge. Ada juga initial charge of 5% per year. So with that 5% per year of initial charge, it means that it is equivalent to 500, which means for the first year, if you make an investment of 10,000, you can only buy using 9,500. Okay. I'm sorry, I have to stop my phone. Okay. Okay, let's continue our lesson. So if we look at this type of investment where you make an investment in the Fund A, okay, you make an investment of 10,000 a year, only 9,500 will be used for the investment because some portion will be charged for the initial charge from the unit trust fund. Okay, so you can see that the unit acquired using this 9,500, the total unit that you can acquire is actually 31,666. Okay, and of course the value keep increasing and decreasing, depends on the price itself. Okay, depends on the price itself. Right, so we can see in this table, okay, at the end of the day, after 4 years, the amount invested is 40,000. You invest 40,000 and the unit acquired is 31,666. Okay, so this is the unit you managed to buy, 31,666. This is because in certain years, all right, the value is RM1.50 is quite high. So once the value is quite high means that the number of unit you can buy is low. Okay, it's number per unit is low. All right, so the total unit is 31,666, and if you compare, okay, with 40,000 that you invested, here you can simply see that you are not making profit. Not making profit because why? You invested total investment 40,000, but after 4 years, you just managed to get 31,666 unit with a value of RM1. After 4 years, yeah, the ending value is RM1, which is equivalent to 31,666. So it is not going to be a very good investment. You invested 40,000, at the end of 4 years, yang dapat cumalah you can only manage to get 31,666. Not a profitable investment. Let's have a look at this Fund B. Okay, Fund B, you can see RM1 become 50 cent, from 50 cent increase to RM1. And you can see once the price is low, okay, you manage to buy the units higher. Unit higher. You buy higher number of units during the low price of this unit trust, and the total unit acquired now become 57,000 unit. And at the same time, you make an investment, sama juga 40,000 investment. So 40,000 investment, you compare with the unit acquired, 57,000, it means that, okay, 50,000 times with the price of the ending value that is RM1, so equivalent to 57,000 ringgit, RM57,000. So you invest 40,000, but now the value is now 57,000, RM57,000. So you're making a lot more profit. So that's why Once we make this analysis during using geometric means, we can see that it is much more profitable to invest in unit trust B rather than unit trust A. Okay, I hope you get the point here. We make several types of analysis. We check on the arithmetic, we check on the geometric means, and we can see if we compare between Fund A and Fund B using both analysis, Fund B seems more profitable because you can buy higher number of units during low price of the unit trust. With the higher number of units you can buy, you can actually make profit during the increase of the price of the unit trust itself. Okay, so I also learned something about this. All right, so it means that bad economy doesn't necessarily mean bad at all the time. Okay, so let's have a look at the effect of the time horizon. So if we look at this analysis here, you should not ignore the effect of the time or the duration, which means that you have to be patient in the investment. Why? This unit trust B is only profitable if you wait until the fourth year. If you wait until the fourth year, only then you can get the ending net asset value increased to 1 ringgit. But what if you just invest for 3 years? If you just invest for 3 years, the ending net asset value is 50 cents, which means that you are not making profit. So that's why you have to understand in unit trust, time does matter. Okay, time does matter. Memang macam tu. People don't understand. They think that, oh, after 3 years of the investment, I'm making loss of 40,000. But they didn't realize that actually during the loss, during the low price of the unit, they are actually buying more. And once the economy getting better and the price increase, this is the time where they really make profit. Okay, so that's why understanding the time horizon is very important for you to make sure the timing of your investment. All right, so let's have a look at the types of the investment for retirement. Just now we talk about unit trust, which is one of the very important assets, very important instrument for the purpose of retirement. So let's see another types of investment that is also suitable for the retirement. Okay, I'll give you an example. The case of stock and shares. Okay, stock and shares ni, it is highly risk, but it should be used carefully, and it also should not be ignored totally because obviously in certain part you can really make a profit in stock and shares. Stock and shares can be divided into two categories. Number one is the growth shares, and number two is the blue chips. Growth shares are the companies that have a plan to expand the business. Growth shares normally very risky because they have higher type of business risk. I'll give you an example of growth shares such as AA share. AA share. Okay. Please remember about the topic on the business risk and financing risk, lot types of risk that I already explained to you before. Okay. In the past, I have already explained to you about the business risk and many other types of investment risks. Okay. So these companies such as AirAsia or the hotels, they really need to expand their business, and at the same time they have higher types of business risk. If something happen to the economy, they are the first that will be badly affected. So that is the growth shares. The second type of shares is what we call as the blue chips. Blue chips company are the very well established companies. Okay, we have around 100 companies who are in the category of the blue chips, such as TNB, Telecom, Maybank, okay, Ajinomoto, Nestle. All right, so all of these are a part of the example of the blue chip companies. They have low business risk. They are mainly related to the consumption products. Regardless whatever happened to the economy, people still want to eat. Regardless whatever happened to economy, people still want to use lights. Orang masih lagi nak guna electricity. So they have low business risk. But the blue chips price is not small amount. I mean that the value of the blue chips company is quite high. Sometimes per unit of shares for the blue chip company is about 50 ringgit, 70 ringgit. So it is quite also expensive because they represent established companies. Okay, so we're going to look at another types of asset that we can possibly discuss for the purpose of instrument investment for retirement, equities, stock and shares, unit trust, investment linked insurance, annuities, real property, and the fixed income securities. Okay, for the stock and shares, obviously in terms of return, you already know that they are high in return. In terms of liquidity, it depends on the market. Okay, but basically you can sell. You can sell the stock if you want to have cash, but it depends on the price during that time. You can sell to get cash, but what if during that time you want to sell, the price is low, so you are not making profit. So it is also risky, but at the same time it can be profitable and should be used with care. Okay, gunakan dengan berhati-hati. The unit trust, in terms of profitability, yes, you have a chance to make a profit through dividends. Okay. In terms of liquidity, yes, you can sell. Okay, you can sell, but sometimes it takes a little bit time. All right. The returns is, in terms of security, it is safer investment than stock. Okay, safer is a good investment than stock, but it depends on the market. If the good market economy, then the unit trust also will perform well. If the economy is not that good, then the price is also will be low. Okay, so in terms of investment linked insurance, this is what you learn in the insurance topic. Okay, you can make profits in the investment linked insurance. In terms of liquidity, you can sell. You can surrender the policy and then you can get cash. All right. Again, in terms of security, investment link, unit trust, they are about safer type of investment compared to stock, which is a highly risky type of investment. Next is annuity. I think the annuity is quite good. Okay, we will learn about annuities. I think that you have already heard about annuities in other classes. All right, it is where you can buy an annuities now and you can get the return from the annuities at certain period of time. Okay, so let's say you buy the annuity now, for you to get 1,000 over 20 years of your retirement. Okay, so it is a fixed income stream that you will get from the annuities that you buy now, for example. So this is quite a good way on how people can manage their investment for the purpose of the retirement. This is also can be considered as good. This is a secured type of investment. All right. And basically the amount of the income stream is fixed. So one of the drawback is where it is it will be not going to be affected by the inflation because of the fixed income stream over several years of investment. Nanti dapat duit during retirement of 20 years, every month you can get like 1,000. So the income is fixed, but the inflation is increasing, thus the money possibly will not be able to cover for the inflation. But it is also one form of investment that can be used. Real property for the retirement, okay, some people might use this, and you should understand that property also subject to economy. Sometimes it is increasing, sometimes it is decreasing depending on the market. Like for example, because of COVID-19, we can see that the price of the investment decrease. In terms of liquidity, not that liquid, means that if you need cash now and you want to sell property now, it's unlikely for you to get the money that fast. Possibly you need to wait until several months, only then you are able to get back the return or the sale from the property itself. All right, so in terms of security, it is quite safe because it is not fluctuate much, and over the long run, the price will keep increasing because we're talking about land which is scarce. So the value of the land, value of the property will keep increasing over the time. Fixed income securities, it is safe investment, safe type of investment in bonds, okay, or fixed interest payments such as, for example, fixed deposit, okay. So I would say that this is in terms of profitability, the amount of profit is lower than what you can get in shares, but in terms of risk, it is quite low. In terms of security, it's better security. Depending on the institution, for example, it is Bank Negara which is issuing bond. Okay, kata Bank Negara issue the bond. So it is quite secure because Bank Negara itself is a strong institution. But if, for example, the bond has been issued by the institution which is not that credible, then it also can be very risky. In terms of liquidity, it is not generally very liquid because sometimes it depends on the um, terms that has been made between you and the issuing institution. Sometimes it takes like bond for 20 years, okay, bond for 10 years, okay. It is, you can sell the bond, but possibly there will be a penalty for that. Okay, so that is in the case of bond. So if we look at the retirement asset allocation strategies, all right, so let's say this is your age, growth-oriented youth from 20 to 40. Let's say this is your age, okay, 20 hingga 40. What kind of investment classes that you need to do? 10 to 30% should go for low risk investment. 40 to 60% you should invest in the medium risk or high risk, depending on the client's risk attitude, okay, risk attitude or risk behavior. If your age is within 41 to 60, you can invest 20 to 40% in the low risk investment, medium, mainly medium 40 to 60, and high risk just 10 to 30%. Because you are about to retire. So do not put a lot of the investment in high risk investments such as shares. And if you are in the retirement period, only small portion should go for high risk investment, and mainly your retirement fund should be invested in the low risk type of the investment. This is to ensure security. So from time to time, this type of allocation you can change. From ordinary shares, corporate bond, bank deposit, money market securities. So this is the allocation that you can use, and you can. This one is a fixed weighting method. You fix to this, but in certain times, obviously, you need an adjustment. you need an adjustment where you can make changes. Your investment, sometimes in certain part of the investment, you can reduce and top up with another types of investment. You can do that depending on the economic situation. All right, so tactical asset allocation method. So the third one is tactical asset allocation method. It employs sophisticated share index futures and bond futures. So this involves a more sophisticated type of investment, and normally will be used by institutional investors, large investors such as PNB, Tabung Haji. They possibly will make an investment in the more sophisticated types of instrument like bond, derivative, okay, futures, things like that. Okay, so that's all basically. This is the chart of the retirement planning. Okay, the start of the income is where you are going to accumulate. The death, this is the consumption part. Okay, this is the process. All right, the type of investment before retirement, invest in a capital growth group of asset. Nearing retirement, invest in a low volatility group of asset. During retirement, you invest in a very low risky type of investment. So that's basically the purpose. All right, you understand that you can make an investment in certain type of asset. We have learned just now, you have unit trust, you have bond, you have shares, all right, you have insurance for you to make a preparation for the purpose of the retirement. Okay, so the objective can be varied. You can have the saving for the retirement for the purpose of you guarantee an income stream during the retirement period, or sometimes because people really want to leave a legacy. People want to make an investment for the purpose of giving it away to the children, or possibly to donate to specific regulatory, not regulatory bodies, NGO bodies, as a part of their donation for themselves. All right, so that's basically the topic that we need to cover for today. Okay, the video for all of these things are also available. The same thing that I explained are also available in the YouTube for topic 6. Okay, in the YouTube for topic 6. Okay, so I would like to ask if you have any other questions. If you have any questions, whether it's related to your project paper or the topic for today, please do so. All right, so I expect at this point of time you already work on the personal ratio, yeah, that we have already discussed in the previous class. Okay, students, I would like to know whether you have any questions at this point of time.
No, doctor.
No questions, okay. So I think that's all for the information and for the lecture for today. I would like to remind you that next week will be on Friday will be our midterm exam. It will be our midterm exam. Okay, so get yourself ready for that. That's all. Yes, tajuk yang awal-awal. Okay, I will give you more detailed information about that in the WhatsApp lah, mana bab yang cover. Okay? Okay, that's all for this session. Thank you very much. InsyaAllah, I'm meeting you again next week with chapter 7. So one of the very important topic next week we are going to learn. That's all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning to all of you.